the Women's Rights Party, and the secretary of that party, we've talked to her before, is Jill Ovens. She joins us on the phone now. Jill, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Jill, look, firstly, just on the Posey Parker thing, because it's the story du jour, what do you think of her cancellation? Do you think she made the right call or a sensible call under the circumstances?
Well, first of all, I need to make it clear that we're not the organisers of that event. People have to make their decisions based on their own, safety and their family considerations. However, there has been some recent OIA disclosure about the police, and that obviously contributed to that. But the event is apparently going to go ahead. People are coming from Australia and up from Christchurch and Wellington, and we in Auckland are all planning to be there. And we have organised within New Zealand to raise the issues of women's rights.
And look, that's the thing. I mean, Kelly J always says, I'm just there to create a space where actually New Zealand women could speak. That's what they were denied at Albert Park. Can you believe, if true, that a transgender police officer who was a member of the Pride Organising Committee was given any involvement in liaison and preparation for the protection of women in Albert Park that day?
So that's the revelations that I was referring to, really.
Yeah, well, we've just talked about that,
Yeah, corruption within our police force. So it was interesting yesterday, there is an international conference of women police officers here in New Zealand, and they did a march at Silo Park. I just happened to be there with my son and my granddaughter. And we started chanting, women's rights are under attack, vote women's rights. And all the delegations from all over the world, the women police officers were smiling at us, giving us a thumbs up, taking photos of us, and particularly the Americans, but from Africa and Asia. So I think that might be a good idea to bring those women police officers over to the rally on Wednesday.
Yeah, because it seemed to me the only reason you would have had that particular individual, and I make no judgment at her and her professionalism, you would have had her if she could give you some intelligence insight into what the anti-Posey Parker or anti-woman activists were doing. But the reports show that they were very coy about what they were planning and almost misleading, and that was never picked up. So the reason that you might have had to have that person involved never came to fruition. And if that wasn't the reason, having her involved at this level, or him, or whatever you call him involved at this level, was clearly a provocative and mocking move by police management.
Yeah, well, that's the way I would see it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, there may be more on this. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to read it in the mainstream media who continue to call Posey Parker
not at all.
Anti-trans activist.
It was a celebration of love.
Jill, you have got your own, I understand, rather dramatic action planned. Are you able to go into that anymore?
Yeah, so tomorrow is Suffrage Day. It's 130 days since New Zealand won the right to vote. And normally...
Is it really?
What happened... Yeah, it is.
Kate Shepherd thing.
1893, so 130 years. And normally what happens is women in high-powered, high-profile positions get invited to the beehive for an early breakfast before they go off to their well-paid jobs. And the women MPs are all there. I'm not sure if that's happening this year, as I didn't see it on their website. But we thought it would be a good idea to dress up in the clothes that the suffragettes wore. And I said I was going to chain myself to the gates of Parliament, and someone said, I'll bring the chains, and so it's all on. That's exactly what we're going to do, to try and highlight that, yes, women may have made progress on getting on boards and getting into Parliament, but at the same time, they're selling out women's rights.
This is all a bit sounding like those people who glue themselves to the road, Jill.
No, we're not going to. I'm not going to do that. In fact, I'm not going to stay very long.